morning, so I've just woken up. What I thought would be useful is to take you through a full day of eating to show you how I put these principles in place of hitting protein, hitting calories, making it effortless. I'm actually in a bit of a cut at the moment, just leaning out a bit. So I'm going to show you how I hit a calorie deficit, how I make that super easy to do without overcomplicating anything, without using MyFitnessPal or tracking or anything like that. Just a simple plan, a daily structure that's easy to hit, that's adaptable. This is the method I teach to all my clients to build muscle, get lean. This is how I keep my diet super simple and stick to it easily year round. And what better way to learn than by example? So I'm going to show you everything I put in my gob today, not so that you can replicate what I do exactly, but so you can take the principles, see how they apply in the real world, and then go and do that yourself. It's going to be a very normal day. Point out some tips, my preferred way of doing things. So I hope you enjoy. The way I start every day is with a bit of creatine. It's the only supplement I take, but it's very, I find, amazing for training, consistency, quality. So not necessary at all, but the way I like to start the day is with a pint of water with my 5 grams. Also with creatine in there. That's basically breakfast. As much effort as I can muster. I don't intentionally fast, but I also don't enjoy breakfast or feel much of a need to eat first thing in the morning. So instead I hydrate, get my creatine in for the day, and then that's basically the morning routine, the extent of it. Very simple and effective. So we'll drink this and then off to work. Cheers. Get the gristly bits at the bottom. Beautiful. I just got unflavored creatine, it's tasteless. Easy way to drink a heap of water at the start of the day. Obviously, next most important part of the day, caffeine. So this is my La Pavoni press. There'll be 2 or 3 of these consumed throughout the day. It's pretty bloody good. And off to work. Usually have a good couple of coffees before midday, 2 or 3. Sometimes with milk. Today's been all black because I'm in the mood for it. Find it hits me harder. So that's the first half of the day. I'll check back in for lunch. Alright, so lunch is a very standard affair for me. Got my meals prepped. This is Wednesday today. I do a slow cook every Sunday, so still got Thursday, Friday and Saturday ready to go. Very simple. I literally do the same thing 6 days a week for lunch. It's just 500 grams of meat, red meat, usually lamb, because it's super cheap. In Australia, get whatever you can get whatever you like. The idea is that half a kilo is about 700 calories, 100 grams of protein, so it means that by the time I've eaten lunch, I've hit 100 out of 140 grams, hit the majority of my protein, so the rest of the day is very easy. Don't have to think about it. I'm gonna heat this up, put some cheese with it, and enjoy. Whilst that's heating up, generally like to have cheese with it. Basic today, Parmigiano Reggiano, proper Parmesan. Literally got the cheap supermarket brand. It's still pricey, but it's delicious. Any cheese works. I just like my cheese. So I'll have that with it. Get another 20 grams of protein in very easily. Yum. This cheese is so good. Add some salt. Cheese is already pretty salty, so I need heaps. That is a very simple, effective lunch. About 1,000 calories, 120 grams of protein. First thing I'm eating today, so I'm pretty excited. So that's basically the lunch process. This is essentially 3 ingredients. Lamb, cheese and salt. I've done the lamb with like a few spices, some garlic and stuff, so that's done once a week in the slow cooker. It takes like 15 minutes work, chuck it in there, leave it for 8 hours, come back, put it into containers. So super easy. So the biggest thing is like having a process in place with nutrition. The big thing is that you get your protein in every day. once you've done that, it doesn't really matter what you eat. And if you're hitting your protein target, then it's going to make the rest of your diet easy, regardless of whether you're trying to hit a deficit and lose fat or you're just maintaining and getting stronger. So I just make this process as effortless as possible. This is delicious. I hit 100 to 120 grams of protein every day at lunch, and then literally any meal I eat at dinner is going to hit the remaining protein of the day, and I easily hit my target. So that's what that process looks like. I'm very looking forward to tucking into this. So that's the first meal of the day. So just eating my lemon cheese. It was delicious. Lunch is the spot when it's like 2 o'clock. You haven't eaten anything, so I'm gonna follow that up with some fruit. As you'll see, lunch was pretty much protein with whatever fats come along with that. So usually throughout the day I get most of my carbs from fruit because it's delicious, and then I get some more at night time with dinner, dessert, whatever. But the way I like to approach things is really front loading protein early in the day, prioritizing that, because as I said, now I've had 120 out of 140 grams. I could literally eat whatever second meal I wanted to later and no, I'll hit that. So now the work is done. I could go and literally be doing anything with my life, with my day. My essentials of my nutrition are dialed. And when you make it that robust and that easy and that hard to fail, that is how you be consistent over a 10-year time span. So after a lot of years of hitting a protein target at various levels of energy intake, this is just what I have found to be the most foolproof, easy and enjoyable way of structuring my days. So if it's useful and it works, steal it, use it. But the important thing is that you find a structure that works for you so that it fits into your lifestyle seamlessly and you can just run it and repeat. I'm gonna prep these little guys now. Eat that up. Yeah. So I'll walk you through where I'm at so far. As I said, mornings, I don't intentionally fast, but it just generally suits me to have my first meal of the day at lunchtime. I don't need breakfast. I much prefer running off caffeine and just waiting to eat at lunch. That said, if I get hungry in the morning, I'll eat fruit earlier, or I'll have coffees with milk as well, just to give me a few calories to get through the morning. It's completely up to how I feel. I'm not a proponent of being super rigid with any of this stuff, even when it comes to energy intake itself. Like, listening to your body is the best thing you can do. You learn that the more years you do this stuff for. So today was just a particularly wired day where I wasn't hungry. I was happy just powering through, drinking coffee until like 2 o'clock when I ate lunch. But there's no science to that other than, again, like I said with everything else, whatever's easiest, most convenient, and is most enjoyable to do. So where we're at now is this. I'll show you how I run things. So this is as complex as tracking and everything needs to be. I just have a note. So basically today I've hit about 1200 calories, 120 grams of protein, or just over. And so I can see basically the rest of my day remaining here is 400 at the bottom is the deficit I'm planning to hit. 300 I've got set aside for dessert. I know I'm gonna cook for my housemates, make a meal that's about 1000 calories. I'll often leave a placeholder room for dinner. We always cook for each other, or I'm going out for dinner. So I'm very rarely making my dinner just me by myself to eat like I did at lunch, which is another reason why personally I put all my protein, my essentials, in my lunch meal, because I'm always preparing that for myself. I'm usually at home. So I make the most of when I am prepping my own food to get the essentials in, so that then I have ultimate flexibility for the rest of the day. So that's my remaining plan. I've got basically 400 set aside for the deficit, 300 for dessert, 1000 for dinner, which means I've got another 300 calories at some point to eat. So yeah, if I'm hungry this hour, we'll see how we go. Might have some chocolate or something, or more fruit, or I'll save it till later and have an extra big dessert. Or if I want to hit a bigger deficit because I'm not hungry, again, I can listen to my body. The whole point is you've got a structure in place, and again, this is as accurate as I get. This is as complicated as I get with any of my tracking, because the point is not to miss the forest for the trees. The details are very rarely even accurate when you're using calorie tracking apps. So you're much better off just like learning what the numbers are roughly of the foods that you eat frequently, having that at the top of your head so that you can just be flexible, make things really simple, and adapt things, because you don't want to get stuck in this rigid mindset of like have to hit a certain number. These are just guidelines to help us get in a zone that is optimal for our body, for our goals, whatever they are at the moment, fat loss, otherwise just fueling ourselves to be healthy, build strength, build muscle, perform well, and enjoy life. So now we're about halfway through the eating day. It's a bit of insight into where I'm at, and that's the plan for the rest of the day. Beautiful day out. It's time to get in the shed, do some training. Today is legs day. So I've got my 2 sets, single leg squats and Nordic curls. Generally enjoy training in the afternoon, end of the workday, purely because it's when I have the most energy. So training is fun. Been doing some tests lately, updating the Ring Strong course. So we're testing every week leg strength. So I'm gonna see if I can put up 50 kilos, which is at 78 body weight, about 65% body weight. Not sure if I'll get it, but let's see how we go. 20, 40, 50. I'm gonna try my right because I feel like it's strong. Fuck. Let's go! New PR. See if I can replicate that here. Oh, questionable. Dodgy form, but I didn't cheat. Right, so much stronger. So that's half my leg training for the week done. Doesn't take long. I've only ever done 1 rep for the squats since I started training consistently on my legs. They've grown a lot, considering I used to not be able to do 20 kilos. So that's a PR, which is very exciting. Leg gain's evident, I think. It doesn't take a lot as long as you're getting stronger. Right, so I just trained. Gonna have this apple to tie me over to a dinner. Yeah, Edith's gonna go to the shops and get some ingredients to cook laksa, I think, for my housemates, because they need something tasty. This is another piece of fruit. Give me some post-workout carbs. Not that I really worry about that, I'm just hungry. And then we'll check into dinner. So I'm just about to prepare dinner for my housemates and myself. I'm not cooking up some extravagant feast for myself every night. If you're smart, you cook for 4 people 1 night a week, and then 3 nights you don't have to worry about dinner because it gets cooked for you back. Now, if you're cooking for a family, I'm not sure the unit economics work the same, but for me, with 3 housemates who are happy to reciprocate, it works really well. Most of the time I'm either getting cooked for or I'm getting something out, but once or twice a week I'll cook because I enjoy it and put a bit more effort in than meat and cheese for lunch. So this is just going to be chicken, noodles, coconut milk and some spices. It's pretty delicious. So that will be another 1,000 calories, a big hearty broth with my remaining 20-30 grams of protein really happily, and then we have dessert ready to go. So that will probably be the rest of the day. Feeling pretty good. This is actually so cute. I was like, oh, it's a perfect day to do it. So finished dinner, packed it in for the day. My housemates kind of cleaned up for me. Just finished off some work. That meal, I was vaguely estimating off my recipe notes that I did when I first wrote that recipe down, but it was about 1,000 calories. I'm feeling pretty full. Today I generally had lower appetite than some other days, so I'm happy just cruising. The thing that you get dialed in eventually, even though I am hitting a deficit at the moment, the calories, the plan, it's all there as a guide. It's not like there to dictate what you do. And so often if I'm feeling hungry and like I need more food at any point in the day, I'll have more. I'm happy going over because I'm just always going to assume that I've estimated things wrong. And so today it's like the opposite. I've had dinner, I feel really satisfied. I honestly don't want anything else. So I'm going to obviously leave it there. In the long run, as you monitor average weights, if you're in a fat loss phase, or as you just go about life and training, getting stronger the rest of the time, things average out. And so it's incredibly easy, even if you aren't trying to lose body fat, get leaner. Learning to listen to your body is ultimately essential for honing in a consistent balanced deficit. And so it's a bit of a cheat code ultimately to just learn. You use your food plan as a starting point, as a guide, so you've got some structure and you've got a plan, But ultimately, the whole beauty of getting better at this is that you can just kind of do things how you want to do them, listen to your body. When it doesn't need as much, you don't need to eat. But on the flip side, you know that when you do feel the need for more food, it's always there. You can eat more. And when you learn to dial things in, listen to the signals and understand what real hunger signals actually mean, and distinguish appetite from just boredom and wanting to just put things in your mouth, fat loss and staying lean and fueling yourself well to build muscle and strength can become a really easy, enjoyable process. And that's what cool thing about getting lean is that it teaches you to actually get in tune with your body's signals and learn to understand what it's trying to tell you through appetite, through energy levels, through these internal signals. So anyway, that's a bit of a rant just brought on by today, but that is a full day of eating to give you an idea. Hitting somewhere around 2,400 calories, 140 grams of protein. That's what I eat on average to drop body fat and lean out. And what I've eaten today gives you a very good idea of a very standard day in my life of coffee, not really eating much for the first half of the day, eating a big lunch of half a kilo of meat, some cheese, about 1,000 calories, 120 grams of protein, very standard, some fruit throughout the day, throughout the afternoon, and then leaving that 1,000 calories for a big dinner. Often there will be dessert. Tonight is a weird exception that there's not an ice cream or chocolate being eaten, but we'll do another one when I'm focused more on strength gain and eating more. That'll be more fun to demonstrate, but hope this is useful for you and gives you some ideas on how simple diet structure can be. Leaning out whatever your goals with your nutrition. It does not have to be complicated. It does not have to require, apps and tracking and weighing everything. Like, you can use those things to teach yourself what calories and protein look like in foods, but ultimately you want to be at the point where you can just have some very rough numbers listed down as a plan and know, I can hit that. Ultimately, watch what happens on the scale if you're losing fat, and look at weekly averages. That's the important thing to track, is your own data, your own body weight, because then you can adjust how you're approaching things based on results and tweak that until it works. So I hope that's useful. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening, and I'll chat to you guys all soon.